Okay, so this is Monday's assignment. We're going to talk about info charts. Okay, in order for you to be ready to talk about info charts, you got to understand that inputs are values entered into an equation to find an output or a solution. Your focus question for the day is to figure out what info stands for. Okay, so example number 1 will be using an info. Okay, we're going to start with a problem where we say 2 times x plus 3 when x is -2, -1, 0, 1, and 2. And I gave you questions like this all week last week. And I told you to solve for it. You should get 5 answers. Okay? What happens is these x's become my inputs. -2, -1, 0, 1, 2. Well, this is my function. 2, I'm going to leave that space open for my x's because these are going to be my x's that go in. Again, leave that space open. So here's our function. Now what goes into the function is the input. So I'm going to take that -2, write it in. 2 times -2 is -4. -4 plus 3 is a -1. Do the same thing with -1. I'm going to take this -1 input, plug it in. 2 times -1 is -2. -2 plus 3 is a +1. The outputs are my answers to this function right here. Okay? So the next one I put 0. 2 times 0 is 0, plus 3 is 3. Now if you look, the pattern right here is I'm adding 2, which is this portion of the pattern. Okay? Again, putting in my inputs, working these out. 2 times 1 plus 3, 5. 2 times 2 plus 3, 7. 2 times 2 is 4, plus 3 is 7. That's all an info chart is. It's a input to a function to an output. IN.F.O. Okay? Let's look at example number 2. We're going to take an X and a Y chart and turn it into an info chart. An X and Y chart is nothing more than an input column and an output column. Okay? Now, what we have here is we have inputs, and we have outputs, and we have answer choices to figure out which one is the function. This is something that you'll have to do. Here's the easiest way to do it. Let's take the first function, okay? Let's try it out. Open parentheses, plus a -2. Okay? What function, okay, am I using? I'm using A right now. I'm going to check it. Put the -2 in the input. -2 plus -2 is -4. Does -4 match -3? Because these two numbers are not the same, A cannot be my answer. Okay? I'm going to go down to B and I'm going to check it. Okay? I'm going to start with the 1/2 here, open, plus a -2. Okay, well that's a 0 that goes in. Half of 0 is still 0, plus a -2 is -2. Well, those two match. Just because it matches one place doesn't mean it will necessarily match everywhere. So I need to check it one more time. And try it one more time. 1/2 of 0. Oh, this one's going to be 2, I'm sorry. Input is 2 plus -2 equals half of 2. Okay, if I got 2 fingers, half of that is 1 finger. So half of 2 is 1 plus a -2. Well, if I have $1 and you owe me 2, okay, then I still owe $1. -1 matches -1. B is going to be our answer choice. You want to be safe, you can plug in C and double check it. C would be 1/4, open parentheses, close, plus a -2. Well, 4 would go in right here. Well, if I've got 4 parts of something, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I only have one of those, then 1/4 times 4 is 1. 1 plus a -2 is a -1. Well, -1 doesn't match 0. So I can mark out C, and I know for sure that B is my answer choice. Okay? Both of these plugins were answer choice B, and they're the only two that came out identical. Alright? Info chart's not too hard. We'll talk to you more about it in class.